It's no question why Bob's Burgers is one of the longest running animated sitcoms in TV history. Being a show that's focused on family unity, perseverance, and the little wins in life, it's easy to fall in love with the charming and relatable Belcher family. The show is also no stranger to the holidays, as each year the showrunners offer their takes on festive episodes for not only big holidays like Halloween, Thanksgiving, and Christmas, but also smaller ones throughout the year such as Valentine's and Mother's Day. However, there is one major holiday that the show has skimped on, like many other sitcoms: Easter, the largely forgotten holiday that helps to usher in the spring season. And in all honesty, the one Easter episode the show does have, at least as of right now, fails to capture the essence of the holiday and misses the mark as a Bob's Burgers episode in general. Relatively speaking, it's a weak episode for the show, and so today, given that Easter is around the corner and on my mind, I'm going to show you why. If you're new here and you enjoy discussing all things entertainment, from animations to superheroes and the occasional fantasy or horror book, consider hitting that subscribe button and joining in on the conversations. We would love to have you on board. Now, as I said before, Eggs for Days is a weak episode for the show, relatively speaking. Bob's Burgers is a truly wholesome and well-regarded show, and I would say that most of its episodes are either great or not so great, but I wouldn't classify any as bad television. In fact, every video I've put out on the show has been very high praise. And so while I do think this one missed the mark that Bob's Burgers has established for itself after many successful seasons and now a feature-length film, it does have some good things going for it. For one, with most episodes following the structure of having an A plot and a B plot, and sometimes even a C plot, it's nice to just have the family all together for the entire episode. It feels like a chill hangout with our favorite cartoon family, and that can be really relaxing for some. Secondly, I have to commend this episode for getting some real laughs out of me. As much as I love Bob's Burgers, I don't actually find myself unleashing a guttural laugh with every episode, but this one has some genuinely funny moments.
What? What? There's a monster in the wall! Oh my god! Something's in there, and it's got the egg. Oh, you guys gonna be open for lunch today, or what's the story?
Are you guys serving lunch yet? I know it's a little early, but I gave up beef for Lent, and I'm really excited to eat it. Is there a horrible smell in here?
No.
Oh, God.
There is up in our house. Wanna come smell it?
$5.
However, while there is good to be found within this episode, the not-so-great components definitely overshadow it to the point where what we're left with is a disjointed story that settles for a half-baked lesson in the end. Which leads me to the three glaring issues within this Easter special. 1, it lacks a cohesive narrative. 2, it lacks a satisfying ending. And 3, it lacks the Easter spirit. So let's start off with the first. When you have an episode that dedicates its entire runtime to one big plot and doesn't have other things going on to distract you from said plot, that means you have a chance to tell a more fleshed out narrative. With 5 main characters at your disposal, 6 if you include Teddy, there are a ton of different character dynamics at your disposal that you can use to progress the plot and drive the emotion within the episode. And Eggs for Days opens the door for many relationship squabbles and emotional takeaways. For one, we have the secret fact that the kids don't enjoy the egg hunt, and one of the reasons for that being that Bob and Linda can get very competitive. Now, personally, I find it hard to believe that kids don't enjoy an egg hunt, especially the Belcher kids. We've seen them time and time again hunt after treasures and go on daring escapades to solve a simple mystery. I mean, Louise is half detective at this point in the show, and even the movie went so far as to use her as a sleuth. And so while the episode does a fair job at providing a plethora of reasons for why they don't like the egg hunt, it doesn't really establish that much believability. It all just feels like forced setup so that we can move on with the story, and honestly, that's fine. However, the story has almost nothing to do with the kids' hatred for the egg hunt or the overbearing, obnoxious competitiveness between the parents. That is, until it's shoehorned in at the very end once again. I mean, the kids' feelings are largely dismissed within the meat of the episode, as they're really only introduced early on in Act 1 and then used to bookend Act 3. And while there are some moments of competitiveness from the parents between these moments, they're not all that obnoxious, at least no more so than the typical Bob and Linda from the kids' perspectives. And all of this makes the episode frustrating because, again, we spend the whole length of the episode with the Belchers, but we don't see any real development for their characters. There are no internal divisions within the family, no factions formed, no relationships challenged. The episode just feels like a string of jokes, having tons of setups that are immediately discarded. Each act has one pivotal, defining moment that progresses the plot along, but in truth, they're not that well connected. If anything, they relate back to the rotten egg that was left to stew overnight, and not back to Louise's disdain for the hunt, nor Bob's and Linda's competition. Act 1 has the parents getting drunk on jelly bean schnapps and forgetting where they placed their eggs, thus setting up the possibility for a rotten egg.
No, okay. Bob, you're babbling.
Huh, yeah. Am I drunk already? Oh my God. Ow. I can feel my blinks.
Act 2 has Mr. Fischoeder stopping by to warn them that smelly eggs really do start fires and burn down houses, as well as to inform them of his brothel frequenting habit.
It's okay. I was not here for that. I was just on my way to a brothelizer showcase. They're showing off this new thing to test how much broth you've drunk.
And Act 3 has Bob and Teddy suiting up to head into the crawl space and retrieve the rotten egg from apparently a raccoon mother thought lost who is incidentally blocking the egg.
You only have one jumpsuit?
What? I work for myself. What do you think, I carry around an extra jumpsuit conveniently in your size? Is that what you think, Bobby?
It's fine.
Huh?
No?
Okay, I do. I was going to give it to you for your birthday and surprise you, but it's in the truck. I'll go get it.
Now, these three scenes all stem from the rotten egg, which stems from Bob's and Linda's competition, but they're really just disconnected pieces in a train of dominoes. So while watching, it's hard to grasp what the episode is actually about, what it actually wants to leave you with. And so when the big reveal at the end revolves around a randomly introduced and apparently missing raccoon that wasn't even hinted at or foreshadowed at any point within the episode, it can feel like the entire disjointed ride was for nothing. Up until the third act, Bob and Linda had thrown no shade at one another. They'd cast zero blame. Really, they had just shared some light teasing and encouraged the kids to cheat for them. Their competitiveness wasn't established as an actual problem to take seriously rather than just their normal playful banter. And so when Bob is in the crawl space and finally blames Linda for this whole situation, it doesn't feel earned or like it should be taken seriously. It just comes off as him being hysterical and frustrated, which happens almost every episode for him.
Keep it together, Bob. There's spiders everywhere. On me! On me! On spiders! You understand me, don't you, Nightlight?
But the main aggressor of the third act reveal and set up for its wholesome, small wooden life ending is how they use what they've learned to solve the current crisis. They don't. Louise comes clean and tells the parents the truth, and the family comes to a cute and funny compromise, I'll give you that.
It's not that we don't like it, it's just that we hate it.
You hate it? No more Easter egg hunt?
That's a little extreme. Maybe we could just cut back a little, you know?
Yeah, just hide like 3 eggs.
But none of this or anything that they might have learned throughout the episode is used to solve the issue with the raccoon or retrieving the rotten egg. There isn't even an effort to show that they've learned to put aside their arguments and work together to retrieve the egg. There's no effort for a lesson on teamwork or compromises. There's not even a hint at a small win with them getting some business after dealing with the egg, or Fischoeder letting them off the hook, or simply giving them some helpful tips on how to get rid of that awful smell. In truth, it just feels like the episode wants to be over, and so it lets the story play out with a quick band-aid solution, and then it says it's rushed goodbye. And so what we're left with is an unsatisfying, disconnected ending with very little emotion that uses none of its 20-minute long story thread to bring about a wholesome resolution, something we Bob's Burgers fans have grown accustomed to after countless times of the show doing that very thing. So in my opinion, Eggs for Days does not match the caliber of most other Bob's Burgers episodes, especially some gems from the same season, such as Big Brother Where Fart Thou or Bob Actually, one of the show's best holiday episodes hands down. However, we're not quite done yet. I've got a little bit more salt to add to this wound, because let's not forget that this is the show's attempt at a cozy Easter episode. However, there's nothing Eastery about it. Now, first off, Easter is arguably a more religious holiday than Christmas. Sure, Christmas is all about the birth of Christ, and it's evolved from a single day into an entire season of giving, but in reality, it's been warped to a more commercialized holiday about a jolly fat man with a flying reindeer-led sleigh. Meanwhile, Easter is the message for Christianity. It's the selling point of the entire religion. However, I'm not going to stand on the soapbox and argue about the religious lessons and meanings that Hollywood has stripped away from these holidays. I understand that to appeal to a general audience, religion has to be removed or at least highly downplayed, and honestly, I agree. Even as a Christian myself, I don't want to see every holiday special revolve around religion. However, they all should revolve around the central themes of their respective holidays. Bob's Burgers Christmas episodes already do this, as they are about doing the right thing and the season of giving. Their Thanksgiving episodes are all about being grateful for what they have, and so its Easter episodes should be about love, forgiveness, and/or truth. Like I said, Easter is the forgotten holiday that helps to usher in the spring season, a time of rebirth and rejuvenation. Redemption even. Now, I could force the ending to fit into a suitable theme for Easter, but it's evident that the episode doesn't really embrace the Easter spirit. That's not what it's going for. In fact, if you take out the egg hunt entirely, there's nothing left resembling Easter. But what's really frustrating is how close it actually is to being a great Easter episode. In fact, there are a few options that come to mind that could have quite easily made this one of the best holiday episodes from the show's entire run. For one, they could have played up Bob's and Linda's competitiveness, showing us how they make the holiday all about themselves rather than the season of love and growth. Then, in the end, they not only have the kids reveal their secret about hating the holiday because of them to their parents, but to us as the audience as well. This would make for a much more satisfying and wholesome ending that is in line with Easter, where the truth is revealed. The truth that the kids blame them for the whole rotten egg disaster, and the forgiveness that follows can truly be felt. Another option is digging more into the secret itself, the driving force behind the problem that the episode is trying to push. Keeping the same ending as well, which I still think should be tweaked a little bit. I mean, at least mention the missing raccoon somewhere in Act 1. But keeping this ending and reveal, have the ending focus on our characters realizing that sitting on a secret is like an egg sitting and waiting to rot. Secrets and lies can fester inside of us. They boil into a hot mess and make us one ourselves. The secrets and lies can cloud our judgment and become an even bigger deal than we originally made it out to be in our heads. And it's only after this realization that the kids can let the truth out, the parents can learn the error of their ways and apologize, and then be forgiven. This not only hits all of the central themes of Easter, but might have even helped to make a more cohesive story out of what was presented. At the end of the day, this is still a fine Bob's Burgers episode that simply doesn't feel as strong as other ones, and the fact that this one feels lackluster is just a testament to the show and the standard it set for itself. It's a reason to be grateful for what we have. Because week to week, this show portrays one of the most wholesome and caring families on the air and helps everyone feel a little less alone and a little more loved. So the next time that Bob's Burgers or any other similar sitcom chooses to tackle the holiday of Easter, I hope they can hear this message and know that it's fine to adopt this holiday for a story to tell, but don't just tack it on. Use it to tell a great story that uses some of the best themes out there: love, redemption, and truth. Because I have a feeling that we could all use a story like that right now. I hope you enjoyed the video. Feel free to hit that like button and share it with a friend if you did, as that really helps the channel more than anything. I would also love to hear from you guys down below. So comment your favorite episode from Bob's Burgers, holiday or not, and what's another episode that you think misses the mark. If there's any other episode or show or movie you'd like to see me talk about, feel free to comment that as well. But as for now, that's it from me. I hope you all have a wonderful day and a wonderful Easter. As always, thank you so much for tuning in. I will see you all next time.